My grandparents came from southern Italy, 1905, economic migrants. You know, they made ice cream and so on and so forth. And I was born in Somerstown, the northern part of the borough. And then after a few years, I was only about 6, 7 years old, we were moved to the southern part of Camden, which was a Bourne estate, right on top of Lever Lane, Hatton Garden. Now, this is the Catholic church here, the Catholic church, Clerkenwell. That's the church I robbed when I was 11 years old, ripped the poor box off the wall, and I was telling the story to a Catholic priest, Father Jeff Bottoms, and I said, well, it had our name on the outside, it says poor box. There we was, we had holes in our shoes, and we didn't have half a crown, which is near about 12 pence, to get into the cinema at King's Cross. He says, don't worry about it. If you hadn't have laid your hands on the money, the priest would have got it. Well, I was going from job to job. I did a van driver's job, and I thought, I don't know, I think I'll do the knowledge. So I done the knowledge, self-employed, start when you like, finish when you like. So you had a lot of independence. And I did the knowledge in 15 months, which wasn't bad really. Now this is Clerkenwell Green, of course, and we have Karl Marx Museum, which is just over there on the left. I was there for the last little while ago on his birthday. Yeah, how I got into Cuba was I had people in the cab, I'm going back 26, 27 years. I said, where do you Canadians go when you're not in Europe? Oh, we go to Cuba. I says, what? Is it safe? They says, there it is. They had a revolution in 1959, led by Fidel Castro. Before that, it was the brothel of the Caribbean, run by the American mafia, and the hated dictator, Batista. Went out there with a wife, and went into Havana, just like a proper holiday, going to the Caribbean, and there was not, the shops were virtually empty. The shops were, I says, why are the shops empty? Blockado, blockado. I said, what blockade? Didn't know anything about a blockade, come back, did a bit of research. I got more information from politicians in the cab. Oh, it's dreadful what the Americans are doing to Cuba. And so I was due for a new cab. So I bought a white cab. I've always drove a black traditional cab. I bought the white cab and had the Cuban flag sprayed from bonnet to boot. Look at that. And that's the ex-president's daughter, Raul Castro's daughter. So I just wanted to tell the other story about Cuba, because nobody knows about Cuba. They know more now than they did then. You know, so I got onto radio stations and they called me Cuban Tony. Tony Memento, well, I was Cuban Tony. And I'd talk on the subject of the politics or whatever they was talking about, and I'd always bring Cuba on board. I get the politicians in the cab, they get out with steam coming out their ears. Look, there was times when the light flashes outside the House of Commons. When I had the Cuban flag, I'd go in with a Cuban cab. And 2 or 3 times when I got down there, the security man says, oh no, they don't need a cab no more. And I should drive out empty. And I drove round the square and the light went on again and another cab went in. Because they see the Cuban cab, they knew I'd give them some stick, like conservative, how'd you sleep at night, whatever. And I used to, so they got fed up with the Cuban cab. Charles Dickens Museum, just to the right there, look. I normally drop passengers off there. It's nice to think my cab is in the car museum in Havana. Put it in a container, shipped it out to Havana. Somebody in the cab from the CBI, Confederation of British Industries. Foreign workers in this country produce more in the treasury than what they take out. But you won't read that in your Daily Mail or your Express newspaper. Yeah, you'll only get the other side of the story, if you want to believe it, if you step in my cab.